Right, hi, it's Dan from BFS Wargaming and Ben. Different armies today. Ben's just got his Ork Codex, so we are been excited about this for quite a while, haven't you?
Yeah.
It's I've normally my Chikari army you've obviously seen on the channel before, but I've also got a Death Guard one which I would quite like to play. It's the first time I've played it, to be honest, so looking forward to trying it out. So I'm going to be running a battalion with 4 units of Plague Marines. I decided to go with a Plague Marine heavy army just for fun, really, to see what it's like. As my HQs, I've got the Sorcerer, the Maleficent Plague Caster. I've got 3 units of 7 Plague Marines, 2 with double plasma, 1 with a Melter and Plague Spewer, and 1 with a unit of 8 with a Melter. And then I've got 3 elites in this with the Plague Surgeon, the Biological Putrefier, and the Noxious Blightbringer. I have the Bloat Drone, Predator, but I'm actually running 2 las cannons rather than the heavy bolters. And I've got the Rhino with the Havoc Launcher. And I've got a Vanguard with the Lord of Contagion. He is my Warlord. I'll be using the Warlord trait to give him 1 lost wound at the beginning of every turn. I've also got 8 Blight Lord Terminators with a Reaper autocannon. They've all got axes. And I think there might be a couple of combi weapons chucked in there, but I can't quite remember. Then I'm running these 2, 1 with a las cannon and not WYSIWYG, but he's got a rocket launcher and a heavy plasma with a rocket launcher. And then I've got a Supreme Command detachment with 2 Demon Princes and Typhus, just to add some extra bang. So this is 2,815. Playing a bit of an odd number of points today. We're running 2,820 points, just because it's probably about as much as I had painted, and it worked out good for both of us. So that's what we've gone with.
Do you need to do?
Yeah, I've got obviously a lot of powers. So I'm not going to bother going through what I put what on, but I have spread out between the Psykers here, and all 3 of these are Psykers. So you'll see in game who has what. So now we'll have a look at the massive green horde of Orks that we'll be playing against. I thought I was bringing a lot of troops, but
here come the snake bites.
Yeah, Ben's playing snake bites, and it's going to be very interesting. You have to bear with us a bit because we're both learning new armies, and obviously Ben's had about 10 hours worth of owning the Codex.
Most of which I was out last night having a dance at a trades club.
Yeah, so not the most
practice or preparation.
But we'll see what we can do, and hopefully you'll enjoy the back rep, and we'll enjoy having a more competitive Ork army on the table.
Yeah.
Right, so back in a minute with the Orks. Before I say, I didn't forget, one of my Demon Princes is carrying the Suppurating Plates as the relic. Right, so now on to this massive Ork horde.
So just to keep it simple, I'm going everything snake bites, although sensibly with several different detachments. To get more command points, I would swap it and get different advantages for the different cultures, because some of the culture rules are really good, just from my basic read. So I'm going snake bites. My war boss is the Warlord, and he's got the Buzz Bomb Squig Hive, which just looks like the best grenade on the planet, or any planet. So yeah, we'll have that. I've got Warlord, War Boss, standard War Boss. Bit disappointed you can't have a bike, War Boss and a bike, but I'm sure that'll come probably in something in the future. So we've got a standard battalion with truck, 10 boys and a knob, truck, 10 boys and a knob, battle wagon, 18 boys, knob, weird boy, and a big mech with a custom force field. as you can tell, I've had Orks for a very long time. Some of the models are particularly old. Then we've got 2 dreads with 4 claws each, a blitz bomber, 4 cans with grot blasters. Then we've got another battle wagon with 15 burner boys in it, a truck.
And this is a Vanguard. This is
So
the
that's
battalion.
the battalion.
This is a Vanguard.
And this is the Vanguard detachment. So the burners and the battle wagon with the death roller and rocket boys, 10 of them in a truck, and then just 5 looters to squeeze the points in and get the Vanguard battalion with the warlord in that bit.
Then you got
Then the fast attack,
the Outrider
detachment, which is 2 of the new buggies. I have the models because I bought Speed Freaks, but I haven't built them yet. So we've got a unit 4 bikes, and 2 single, I can't remember the name exactly, of the new Boomdeck Snaz wagons. And then the new HQ, which is my old war boss on the trike, and that will be the Death Killer war track for the purposes of today. So I get the right one up and running.
Cool.
Sidekicks only got the weird boy, so he's got smite and the jump for a bit of flinging himself around the battle board.
Yeah, that to jump sounds like it's pretty handy, to be honest.
Yeah.
So for once, I'm taking an army that's going to have more sight than anything.
Yeah.
Than the opposition. Playing the Chikari, I obviously run no sight, so it's going to be interesting to see if I remember to use it properly and to be running the ability to cast 8 sight powers is going to be a bit different for me.
Yeah, I think, well, as we do, we'll go back a little bit sometimes when we miss bits.
And muddle our way through on the... So we'll see if we can actually get some scenery on the board along with Ben's army, and we'll come back to you with the start of the pattern. Right, Susan. Right, we're going to roll to see which Eternal War mission we are going to be playing. So Ben with his new Orky dice, and that is a 5. So we will be playing Secure and Control. So we'll be back with the rest. This is the board setup, a sparse Orc invaded world. As you can tell, scruffy as anything, junk piles everywhere, and the Death Guard plague is coming. So we're rolling off to see who picks deployment and the end side of deployment they want.
Oh, Orcs win, because that
is a 1.
is the 6.
Wow, that's disgusting. Disgusting Orky dice. So we'll let Ben choose deployment style and then where he wants to go, and then we'll come back to who's deploying first, which I imagine I'll get the +1 with the amount of models Ben's got. Right, so deployment is finished. The killer cans, the jet, the dreadnoughts is the what's this?
Unit of rocket boys with a war boss and a unit of boys.
Then we've got
one of the new buggies.
Yeah.
Snaz wagon, second Snaz wagon. The new HQ trike. Unit of 4 bikes. Unit of 5 looters. Was a unit of 10 boys in a truck behind the objective. Objective marker is the bottom corner of this. Miniature of our local thing, Studley Pike in steel for Orcs. And,
which is up there on that hillside.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Wow, yeah. Cool. And then there's Battle Wagon with Weird Boy and 18 lads, and Battle Wagon with what's he called?
Mech.
Custom force field toting mech. Apparently it's 9 inches still from him, so it covers everything at the minute, but that might be FAQ later to just the vehicle as it was before, and he's got 15 burner boys with him.
Fantastic. And here we've got the I was going to say put it then, but it's the Rhino with the Flower Blightspawn and the 8 Plague Marines. We've got a Demon Prince here. We've got the Sorcerer and Maleficent Plague Caster. Then we've got the most expensive screening line ever seen with 2 squads of 7 Plague Marines. We've got a Plague Surgeon there to give them reroll 1s on Disgust and Resilience. The boat drone there, The Warlord's there with another squad of Plague Marines, and then we have another Demon Prince and the heavy firepower here with the Predator and the 2 Hell Brutes. Oh yeah, and the Typhus and the Terminators are in the Teleportarium. So, Ben, do you want to roll a dice and see if you can seize the initiative? Because I automatically get, because you chose.
Wag! Yes!
Oh my days.
You've got to wag it when you roll it.
It turns out. Can you believe?
Woo!
This is not starting out that well for me so far. The Orc dice seem to be in Ben's favour.
Yeah.
So we shall let Ben commit.
And a 6 advance automatic plus an advance. I think I'm going to be quite close for a little bit of automatic hits.
Yeah, I think you will. Well, we'll come back with after movement when Ben's near enough in my front line. We'll see you soon. Right. Turn 1 Orc movement. Right, everything pretty much advanced.
Launched with the new HQ smashing bike, and then used its extra 6 inches. Well, it gets a choice to use a
once per turn, once per battle.
Game, it can automatically move 6 in its advance,
and then
I
it
managed
also
to
gives
roll a 6 and a 5.
so it also gives the ability to
within 6 inches of it, everything can charge after it's fired.
Yeah, so that's awful. So the dregs they managed to advance, was it 6 inches?
At a run, yes.
Yeah, did they advance?
Yeah, at 5 inches.
Yeah, and the only thing that didn't advance was your these things, wasn't it?
Yeah, the snaz wagons, because I want to see what they do shooting wise.
And you advanced the
both battle wagons.
Both battle wagons. The only thing to stay stationary was the looters.
And a bunch of boys in a truck at the back for reserve.
Right. So now the onslaught begins. We'll move on to the Orc psych phase first.
Yes, blimey. Okay.
I might have a few denies here.
Right. You might. Just going to be...
Right, I'll come back with you after psych phase. Turn 1 psych phase. The Weird Boy cast a smite onto these Plague Marines here. I did not manage to deny it with the deny I used. But Disgusting Resilience saved his life anyway. So moving on to the enormous amount of shooting, and hopefully Ben will not keep rolling 5s and 6s with his new dice. Right. Very good Orc shooty phase. They took out the squad of Plague Marines and the bloke drone in that round of shooting. Pretty much shot everything into the Plague Marines via the looters, apart from the looters, and the bomb from the jet went into the bloke drone as well. So now we'll be moving on to charge phase.
And I think the 6 roll with Daka roll is really helping the Orcs.
Massively.
And I reckon Games Workshop have weighted these dice.
Because the amount of 6 rolls have gone on their dice is ridiculous. Right. Right, so we'll move on to charge phase. On turn 1 Orcs. Right. The Bites all tried to get into combat but failed their charges, and one took a wound to Overwatch. The Trike got in here, he killed 1 Marine, and saved a couple through Disgusting Resilience, and the Plague Surgeon done a wound, the Marine's done a wound on fight back, so he's down to 4.
Yeah.
So he's down to 4, so going into... Death Guard. Death Guard. Turn 1 movement next. So we're back with that. Right. The Death Guard movement. Boss has moved a little bit there. The Demon Printers jumped down to try and take out that flyer. They haven't moved. I forgot to pile in with me troops before, but I've done it now, so that they are in. I moved these back slightly. I moved the Rhino round, so I can get some shots in with the Havoc launcher. Demon Prince moved up there. That's all of my movement with my limited models. So we'll move on to Psych phase, which is hopefully try to start balancing things out a little bit.
Right, cheeky.
Death Guard Psych phase. He tried to smite the truck, did 2, but was saved with the 6 up for the pain. These 2 both smited the bike and 1 damage up through.
Yeah.
I put Miasma of Pestilence onto the Rhino. Sorry, the Predator. Yeah. And he tried to smite the Flyer but failed. I think that was all the psych so far. So Blades of Purification went onto the Plague Marines there. So
stick a card by them,
yeah. I'll try and remember what's got what on it. So now moving into shooting phase. Hopefully we can decrease these Ork models. Right, end of shooting phase. Well, all my lads' cannons fired into this. Was it the battle wagon with the death roller?
Yeah.
And did how many wounds?
So it's a bone breaker. But yeah.
A bone breaker, yeah.
Did 7.
7 wounds.
All right. Yeah, 7.
We did 7 wounds from the troops. The troops down here did 7 wounds on that dread. I think that was it.
That was it. You did a wound. With
I did a wound onto the one of the bikes as well. So now we're going on to charge phase. So hopefully we get a bit of close combat in and make up for the whiffy shooting. Onto charge phase. So, well, charged the demon prince into the jet and he saved everything on the 6s. We did take 1 more wound off the track there, the war buggy, and he took 2 Marines in fight back. I think that was all the close combat, wasn't it? Yeah, so Death Guard are really on the back foot from the orkiness. So we'll move on to Ork turn 2. Right, Ork turn 2 movement. Everything's pretty much charged up the board.
Except though.
Lewis has stayed still. That truck's come out from behind cover and moved up. Everything else has just moved up, and Ben did smite onto the Rhino, and I denied it. So now we're moving on to Ork turn 2 shooting. Shooting is over with. He did 3 wounds to the Hellbrute with was it that?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. He shot a lot of other stuff into and killed 1 of the Plague Marines. From there, they saved incredibly well. Took a wound off of the Rhino and took 3 wounds off of the Predator with a combination of firing. I think that was it really. It was a lot better saving throws from me.
Yeah.
And some them Ork dice are rolling 6s for fun. Any Ork player should definitely buy the Ork dice because they seem to be definitely weighted towards 6s. Dakka dice.
Yeah.
So that's, in fact, I'm going to, because of the unsaved wounds on a Hellbrute, on a 6 I get to shoot, as if in the normal shooting phase, so I might as well do that on camera. No.
Okay.
Bugger. So we'll move on to charge phase. On the Ork 2 close combat, well, the Dreads attacked, killed a load of Marines. He fought back, killed that 1 Dread and took 3 wounds off that one. And he passed morale. I heroically intervened with the Demon Prince and took out 3 bikes. And that remaining bike, the Nog Boss with the Claw, took off 3 wounds off the Demon Prince. All them bikes attacked and took 3 wounds off of the Predator. And the war buggy was taken out by the Plague Surgeon, who then used Chaos Boon and is now -1 to hit in fight and shooting. So I think that's everything. Yeah, that's everything from the close assault. Now we're going to move on to Death Guard turn 2.
Yeah.
Death Guard turn 2 movement. We did the Lord of Contagions Nurgle's gift, and done a mortal wound over here, a mortal wound to the troops there. Didn't get one on these two. We brought the Typhus and the Blight Lord Terminators in over here. We moved the Lord of Contagion down. Moved this Dreadnought out. So he's out of there. Drops the Predator out of combat. Moved the Sorcerer and the Maleficent Plaguecaster out. And the other squad of Plague Marines disembarked from the Rhino. And we moved the other Demon Prince up to there. So we're going on to the Psych phase. Psych phase. Killed a bite with Smite. Put Miasma's Pestilence on the Predator. We've used Blades of Purification on the Blight Lord Terminators. And we've used Present Vitality on the Demon Prince, and a couple of smites that went off, but bar that, it's on to shooting phase. Right, so I've done the charges as well because I forgot. So shooting, the Blight Lord Terminators, some of them shot up into the looters and killed one. The others, we shot the Melter into one of the killer cannons, left it with one wound, and the other three bolters then finished it off. The Reaper Auto Cannon then took off 3 wounds off of the truck. What else did we do? Oh, we did a Blight Bombardment with the Marines here and took off 4 wounds, was it?
Yeah.
Off of the truck. And we didn't really have a lot of other shooting, to be honest. Everything seemed to be tied up or dropping out of combat. So went on to 2 charges. These all charged here. And the Plaguecaster took 1 in Overwatch. He's charged into there. I'm about to do the charge for the Blight Lord Terminators.
Oh, yeah. Go for it. Roll it on then.
And the Lord Contagion charged in.
And this Demon Prince.
The Demon Prince charged in over there. So let's do the live for the Blight Lord Terminators.
Oh.
I'm going to command point re-roll that.
Okay.
So 12. The Blight Lords are into the killer cannons.
Wow. Yours had to move. Anyway, choose who.
And then you got an Overwatch. So we'll come back to you the resolution of that. Right, resolution was the Blight Lord Terminators got in unscathed. Typhus failed his charge, which is rather annoying. But right, we'll go on to combat. Right, so after combat, the Terminators got in. They did killed a can, took another wound off another one.
Yep.
And on the fight back, they killed one of the Terminators. Took some wounds off with the Plague Marine that was here, and then he died in the fight back. This guy here took some wounds off the truck, and then got a wound back on the fight back. The bike went from here. The Lord of Contagion absolutely melted the
fancy buggy.
The buggy thing, yeah. Didn't do a lot here, to be honest. We took 1 bike out, and he saved on the fight back with 2 disgusting resilient saves for the Plague Surgeon. The Demon Prince took out the truck in 1 hit, and the boys didn't fancy consolidating in. Don't know, understand why, but they weren't up for it. Orky scaredness, I think.
Yeah.
And I think that's going on to Ork.
Turn 3.
Turn 3, yeah. Right. Well.
The Orks debust en masse.
Yeah, the Dreadnoughts moved to there. The War Boss got out of the truck, and the rocket, whatever they are,
got out
of the truck. The truck reversed. The other truck, unit of boys got out of that truck, and that reversed over there.
Actually, that happened first, so it could happen, but yeah.
Yeah.
Dread round to there.
Dread round to here. This moved across, but after the boys had got out over there, and the mech is following it behind. Sorry.
Movement phase. Does a repair?
Yeah.
D3 plus 1. Brilliant. 4.
So 4 wounds back on the truck from the mech boy. So the burners got out and went there. Then that moved. Then that truck got disembarked with the boys and then moved.
Yeah.
And the weird boy went over there. The flyer went to here. The boys have decided they do want a bit of combat. Hopefully, probably once everything's shot at the Demon Prince and wounded a little bit.
Yeah.
Because they're not that brave. And I think that's everything. It's a very busy board, but it was looking quite good, and now I'm looking like a bit more miserable again. So we'll move on to Orc shootiness. In fact, psych phase.
Psych.
End of the Orcs shooting phase. He took out a couple of the Plague Marines with, one with the burner. No, in fact, did the burner boys cause any wounds? No, one with the burner boys, one with the truck. A lot of stuff fired at the Demon Prince, and he shrugged it all off. A lot of stuff fired at the Dreadnought, shrugged it all off. The Rocket Boys shot at the guy there, the Blightbringer, and he took 2 wounds, but still survived. And now we're going on to Orc charge and fight phase. So this is the end of Orcs turn 3 fight phase. It took the Lord of Contagion down. He killed the mech, and he took 3 wounds from the Dreadnought. The Terminators took out some boys and saved all the attacks from the cans and the boys. The Dreadnought took 3 from the Death Roller thing, and he used a ramming speed as well. The Plague Marine took a couple of wounds from the mech and then dished out 2 wounds back. Lost a load of Plague Marines. In fact, I'm going to have to do a save. So if I lost 6, 8, 2, he's fine. So yeah, he still stays there. The Demon Prince took a wound, but then took out, I think it was 5 boys in the fight back. And I think that's all the Orcs, and then we're moving into Death Guard turn 3. Right, this is Death Guard turn 3. Move that Dreadnought out of combat, move the Demon Prince over to there. What else did we do? Move Typhus up a little bit. We left the Demon Prince over there in combat. And we killed, I did the Psych phase at the same time. Typhus cast Blaze of Purification on the Blight Lords. We smited the Dreadnought. We smited that bike. We put the Gift of Contagion, which gives -1 toughness to the whatever that Skull Crusher thing is.
Bone Crusher. We
tried to do Miasma Pestilence on the thingy and didn't manage it on the Predator. And I think that's everything pretty much. There wasn't much to go on my turns of very few models. So we'll now move on to shooting phase. After shooting phase of the Death Guard turn 3, the Typhus fired his pistol into the boys. We killed a couple of them, 3 of them. We destroyed the Skull Crusher war truck with Bone Cruncher war truck. That's the one with the las cannons and the missile. Fired the Havoc missiles, didn't do anything. I think that was it. Wasn't much of a shooting phase really. So now we're moving on to charge and fight phase for Death Guard turn 3. Right, end of the turn. We're going to have to call it due to running out of time. And as it stands, on victory points we are level due to the fact that Ben got first blood, whereas I got Slay the Warlord. We're both on our own objective markers, so we both have 3 for that, and no one's got line. Well, we both got line breaker, so it's turned out to be quite a close game. If it had gone on, it's hard to say.
I think you've got the swing on it going on.
I think I probably have, just because I've got a lot of characters and a lot of smite left.
Yeah.
And yeah, I probably would, as long as I was rolling all right for my shooting bits. I've still got I have the 6 las cannons, the plasma, the 2 rocket launchers. I think I probably would have whittled your vehicles down.
Yeah, well, you've done.
So as it stands, it's a draw. We'd gone a full length for 5 turns, maybe not.
Yeah. I think not.
But the Orks, that extra Dakar rule is
really handy.
They're really, really. After the first turn, I did think I was actually going to die. Very, very quickly, my save rolls and my disgusting resilience rolls were terrible, and my first lot of shooting was pretty bad. But when I started to roll okay, it did seem to swing the tide. And also, once the Orks closed me down and got me into combat, it actually probably saved me.
It did.
As they couldn't shoot at me, and
you were better in combat than I was.
Yeah, the Death Guard would definitely combat.
Yeah.
Better.
Definitely.
Yeah, winners. I mean, the Demon Prince was just melting stuff over there. He was near enough taking out another vehicle. He's left that vehicle on 1 wound, taking all the boys out. The separating plates are really good. That Plague Marine and the Foul Blightspawn are still down there. Got 3 characters around that bike, so that would have gone. We took out the Mech Boy. We can't think what else we took out. We took out some of the Rocket Boys. That truck went from Typhus.
Yeah.
He destroyed that fairly easily.
Very easily, and you just the big bone shaker thing was wrapped up quite quick with all
the las cannons. That left me free with my Demon Princes to hit the Rocket Boys. The Dreadnought went out to the Lord of Contagion, which was actually quite pleased at how good the Lord of Contagion is.
Yeah.
With the gift of Nurgle as well. It's giving it. That's another thing. Once you got in, you were suffering mortal wounds.
Yeah. Exactly. So actually getting in combat with you wasn't a good idea, which isn't good for Orks, because actually you need to get. In theory, you need to get into combat, but
their shooting's a lot better now.
Dakar rule, they're brilliant at shooting.
Yeah, and if you're rolling well like you did in the first 2 turns.
If I've interpreted the ammo runs right, you get if you had a big unit of looters, then you could get 4 rerolls out of all the shots you're putting into whatever you're going to shoot at. Really
then looters were dishing out some damage until you started to tie me up in combat.
And I lost targets because I was.
Yeah. Having the Lord of Contagion and Typhus on the board was a bit fun with it. Like I say, dishing out mortal wounds for.
Yeah.
It was
good combo that chipped away at me.
And the Lord of Contagion actually he destroyed your Warlord and then in the turn around just took out the Dreadnought. And so that's 2 wounds remaining. So it's a really good, interesting, fun afternoon, and we'll probably play on the next one.
Cheers.
We'll get the Orks on the table again, I think, and
get to grip with the rules and get Battlescribe up and running.
And I need to get some more of a more optimum list with the Death Guard. Get my Poxwalkers done, and so I can use Typhus with the Poxwalkers and try some different stuff and not just using the stuff I've got painted. BFS Wargaming out. I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe and like if you haven't done already, and we'll see you in the next one.